Hi Taurus, welcome. Welcome Taurus babies. I'm just going to keep shuffling your deck and waiting for my chat to load and then we'll get into it. Let me skip these ads. Okay, let's get into it, everybody. Oh, look at that. We have the Knight of Cups at the back of the deck. That's a bit precious. So, welcome to everybody who's able to join me live. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them in the chat. I will be reading the chat every so often, so I'm going to do my best to interact with y'all. That's what makes these live streams so special for me personally. I love just exchanging energy with you. Now, for those who are joining afterwards, welcome all the same. I do need to go through a little spiel quick just to explain what we're doing here. So this is going to be a general monthly predictions reading focusing on the month of November for the Taurus dominant signs. So people who have a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, or people who have strong Taurus placements in their natal chart. Now, if you're not a Taurus and you are cross-watching, you're more than welcome to stay, but I'm a very honest reader, so please watch at your own discretion. Consider that your warning. You may hear something you do not like. Now, I'm going to start your reading by drawing 3 cards from this tarot deck, which will tell us the 3 main themes you can expect to experience in the month ahead. I'll clarify with more tarot, we'll get some specific messages, and then we're going to get advice as well for each of the themes. So let's get into it, shall we? Hi everybody, welcome back, Diane. Welcome. What can Taurus expect for the month of November? Oops. We have the Tower upright. Interesting. We have the Empress. Okay, I like that. That's you. That's your energy. What is... That's big Taurus energy, actually. We also have the 3 of Wands reversed and the Last Judgment. Dun, dun, dun. It looks so, like, daunting in this deck, but don't worry, we'll clarify. So, what's at the back? We have the 8 of Swords reversed. So this is a very similar message to what you got recently. The 8 of Swords reversed is a feeling of seeing clearly, of taking a blindfold off, and potentially getting the chance to see a situation as like, I have a way out. Maybe before you didn't think that you did. Now you're starting to see that you have a way out, especially with the 8 of Swords reversed. I wonder if that card is really encouraging you in the month ahead to just take the chance to kind of let information sink in so that you can see clearly and feel clearly. Because sometimes when we first absorb information in an 8 of Swords moment, it's easy to look at ourselves as the victim in that situation. And in the month ahead, it feels like you're getting out of that mentality and you're able to see something for what it truly is. So let's clarify. Let's have a look at your first theme with the Tower card here. I see the Tower card as a strong message of an unexpected and somewhat sudden change. The Tower card is a kind of change that creates changes in multiple areas of your life. Not just your work situation, not just your family life, not just, you know, your love life. It's like a whole lifestyle change. So let's have a look at what's going on with that. What is this Tower energy in November for Taurus? What is this Tower energy in November? We have the King of Swords reversed. What is this Tower energy? We also have the Knight of Pentacles. I was about to say the Knight. Oh my days. I was just reading it. I didn't even think about what I saw. What else can you tell us about the Tower card? Okay. So we have in my hands the King of Wands reversed and the Hierophant. And then over here we have the Ace of Swords upright. At the back of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Oh my lord. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. So I kind of wonder if this Tower moment has a lot to do with clarity. That seems to be the overarching theme with that Eight of Swords at the back of the deck. But this Tower energy, the kind of clarity that you're experiencing, has to do with someone else that you trusted being wrong. It feels like someone told you something, either from a place of giving you advice or from a space of they were a professional. They were somebody that had responsibility in the situation to be well informed, and now you're realizing they weren't right. And they were either telling you something because they wanted you to think they were right. They were trying to manipulate the situation so that you would believe in what they were saying. But you're basically discrediting them in the month ahead. The sudden change is that somebody was wrong. And it's the kind of wrong where there should be repercussions, maybe even legal repercussions for some of you, but at the very least, it changes everything now. Now you have to look at things in a completely different way. And I always see the aces as opportunities. I feel like there is a confusing energy of where do we go from here now. With this Knight of Pentacles reversed, it's highly likely that you're going to receive information that puts things in a completely different perspective, because suddenly what we were working on isn't going to go ahead. And suddenly the path that we were walking on is ending. But where do we walk to next? What is our next path? What are we doing? Like, what does it look like? Especially with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it's looking like someone who is having a very sudden change of plans. And a lot of this change of plans has to do with our King of Wands and the Hierophant here. The goal seems to be, well, if we're going to have to change things, let's at least make these changes for the right reasons. With the Hierophant, kind of get the right kind of advice for some of you, but more so just trying to focus on making changes that mean something to you. A Hierophant energy is a kind of an education energy. So some of you could be, well, if we got to make these changes, let's make changes that are going to help improve us, that are going to skill us, that are going to equip us and make us feel more than what we currently are. I just wonder if with the King of Wands reversed, there is a feeling here of needing to prove someone wrong. Like, yes, we know logically they were wrong, but the King of Wands reversed over here, it kind of feels like we have a lot to prove now. And it feels like we're trying to almost like piss someone off and make them regret what they did. So what is going on? We're going to clarify with another deck just in case I've missed anything or there's anything else in this theme. What is going on with this Tower energy, Spirit? We have the Ace of Presents and the Five of Presents both here. I was going to say reverse, but they're really not. They're really, really not. So Presents are Pentacles in this deck. What else can you tell us about this Tower theme? We have the Four of Potions. And we have the Fool card. I wasn't going to get another card, but this seems to be a very complicated theme. We have the Page of Needles at the back of the deck. Yeah. So I mean, listen, we have the Ace of Pentacles here upright and then the Ace of Pentacles reversed over here. It feels like this confusing energy of what do I do and how do I do it to get what I want? Because it's not that simple. There's a lot at play here. And the main message is trying to make a bad situation better and trying to get out of a feeling of lack and trying to make sure that the decisions that you're making are somewhat responsible. But the kind of responsible energy we have is the Hierophant responsible, which is a very Taurus energy. It seems to be strongly connected to a sense of structure, tradition, values, and a level of integrity even. Because I feel like with the Four of Potions and the Fool card here, we are ultimately going to have to take action and maybe a really risky leap of faith in November around this theme and the sudden unexpected change that we're experiencing, which highly involves someone being wrong and the truth coming out about how they may have manipulated the situation. But before we can do that, we need to figure out what we want to do. And I see with the Four of Potions, there is almost this feeling of still not wanting to rock the boat for a lot of November, not wanting to do anything that could make things worse, and trying to kind of be in a comfortable zone of just kind of making peace and being the peacemaker. So I almost wonder if you're caught between like a situation in which like two people are are having a hard time being on the same page, or if there's like arguments and you're in the middle of it. And I feel like eventually, Taurus, you're just going to have to choose what is best for you in this theme, and you're going to have to make the changes that you need to secure, first of all, your happiness, but also your own opportunities. Because it feels like a lot of this is impacting multiple areas of your life. It's impacting your lifestyle, it's impacting your coin, your finances. So you ultimately have to do what you need to do to bring back opportunities in your life, plural, because there's so much going on here. I just think that there's this initial feeling of not wanting to rock the boat that does kind of cause delays. Is there anything else Taurus needs to know about this theme, Spirit? Yeah. Spirit's really saying like these aces are opportunities, they're not promises. If you don't want to do anything, and if you don't push hard enough, and if you don't stand up for yourself, it is you, sweets. It's all you. I do feel like this is a somewhat unfair situation, though, I can't lie. Like, these two kings feel slightly oppressive. Like, it feels like this is a lot to have to deal with because you feel quite soft in the middle. It's like you have two bricks sort of banging on what is like a bouncy ball, you know, like a really squash. Like, yes, you can kind of take it, but it's still not a good feeling after a long time. Like, it's wearing you down. So I do want to get some advice on this thing. What should Taurus do with this Tower theme in the month of November? What should Taurus do with this Tower theme? Especially because for some of you it involves leaving a workplace and recognizing how your employer or someone in charge was taking advantage of you, and now you need to make your own opportunities. But that's the thing, like, you have opportunities around you. It's just a matter of, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to take? How are you going to make this bad situation better? We also have clarity and carrot coming out as your advice card. So I do feel like the advice here is about paying attention to the facts, staying grounded in what is real, not in what people are promising, or not in the potential of the situation of what could get better. You really just need to kind of, with a Tower moment, focus on reality, stay grounded in the truth, in the facts, and make those changes and take that action based upon what it is that you're seeing in the real world, because you're very intuitive if you're watching. So you just got to stay grounded in what you know and not necessarily what you feel, because I could see how this is extra messy due to the fact that we had every intention of seeing the original plan through, but that's just not going to happen. In November, we really need to re-strategize, and that involves paying attention to what is real with this clarity card here. And that card, for me, I don't know about you, but when I grew up, oh my Lord, when I grew up, my mum and my father used to always say that carrots help you see in the dark. I don't think that's real at all. But I do know that carrots are good for your eyesight. So I feel like this is all about seeing clearly and making sure that you see clearly. And just making sure that you are able to see your opportunities clearly, because this is the one card. This is the first card in this beautiful deck. So you do have opportunities. Please see them clearly. There is a way out of this, and there is a way forward from this. So that's what I'm seeing. Well, so far we have your cards in tarot coming out twice, with the Hierophant and now the Empress. Let's move forward with this Empress energy, and we'll clarify what's going on there for you. What is going on with this Empress energy for Taurus? Yeah, this Fool card seems, oh my Lord, what is going on with my mouth? This Fool card seems to keep coming up. That's what I was trying to say. Instead of saying seems to keep, I just said keems to seep. Oh, wow. So I do feel like there is the opportunity to kind of cut something to the point where it's a fresh start for you. You could be reinventing yourself in more than one way, or looking to make changes that could offer some brand new beginnings in the near future with all this Fool energy. This is the feeling of being baggage free as well, and kind of being able to get to a point where you can take a leap of faith towards what you want without feeling held back from other things. So what is going on with this Empress energy, though? Speaking of other things, what is going on with this Empress energy? We have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Interesting. It's interesting because an Empress energy is all about being grounded. Death card reversed. Whereas the cards that I'm getting have me believing that this theme is about you getting out of something in order to grow. It's like you have to break away from something in order to grow. You have to maybe even let go of something that you were very kind of connected to in order to grow, or committed to. With the Four of Pentacles, could be a work commitment, a family commitment. Both for some of you. We have the Nine of Swords. And at the back of the deck, we have the Five of Cups. So this isn't an easy decision, but you're having to do what is right for you over here. I can see how this Empress energy is about choosing yourself, but it's coming from a position of, well, how can I grow from here? Where is this opportunity that I'm cultivating headed to? Because an Empress energy doesn't just happen overnight. Either the goal is continued growth, or we're trying to expand something that we've already started. And in order to do that, we have to let go of another commitment. We have to kind of let go of something else that we've been holding on to, because this other thing isn't really growing for us in the way that we are focusing on our Empress energy. With the Death card reversed, this isn't an easy decision. In fact, it feels like a betrayal. It feels like with the Death card reversed, we're taking this very personally. We're very afraid of being wrong or being kind of in a confrontation. So I can see how we're kind of dancing around the truth here maybe, or we're even kind of trying to trick ourselves and downplay the seriousness of this. But with the Nine of Swords reversed, eventually you're going to have to do it, because I feel like this is something that's going to keep you up at night. Your integrity again is being questioned over here. And there's this strong feeling of trying to make a decision instead of just letting it eat you alive. Our Nine of Swords is usually an energy of getting an epiphany and a clarity kind of moment after we've kind of been through a dark period. But when it's reversed, it almost feels like regrets. So I can't lie, I do think that when it comes to your growth and securing long-term growth and continued success, you may have regrets in November over how you handled the situation and how you should have ended things sooner, or how you could have ended things clearer, or how you could have like made it a little bit more obvious. Because I do think with the Five of Cups reversed, there is disappointment, and there is a feeling of like, I kind of like, this situation is messed up. It has me feeling sad at the very least, let alone I'm having a hard time focusing on what is left. I want to see what else we can pull from this deck about this theme. What else can you tell for us about this Empress theme? Oh, Diane, that makes sense. Yeah, we have the Moon. There's that elusive sort of secrecy, that quiet energy, not wanting to be too open, keeping things a bit mysterious in the background. We have the Eight of Candles. 8 could be significant because I see there's a strong message here of breaking out of a cycle, of trying to kind of break out of a cycle. We have the Knight of Wands. For some of you, it's about not getting stuck in something that other people get stuck in. The Ace of Needles reversed and the Knight of Candles, Knight of Wands. So needles are swords. I don't know if I've explained that yet. Candles are wands. So what's at the back of the deck? Queen of Cups, Queen of Potions. Yeah, there's definitely a feeling of like loyalty here and betrayal. But with the Queen of Potions reversed, I think you are over empathizing with the situation. You're really empathetically connected to the situation, to the point where you're kind of neglecting your own feelings, because you're allowed to feel however you want to feel. But it's that energy of like trying to compromise how you feel to make somebody else feel better. You know, like, oh, I'm sad, but they're crying louder, so let me just console them. That's what this kind of feels like. There's a self-sacrificial energy here a little bit, but there's more so this feeling of like, when. I think for some of you, the way that this cycle ends and the next begins could feel very messy. It could feel like you're being energetically pulled in one direction, and you're having to just kind of go with that direction before you neatly wrap up the ending. in the other direction that you're leaving. Especially with this moon here, I don't see bad intentions. I just see a lot of haziness, a lot of confusion, and a strong feeling of just not really knowing how to talk about what you're feeling. I also do think with this Ace of Needles reverse, there is a regretful decision that's going to be made surrounding all of this, because the Empress is upright. I mean, in hindsight, it may be very trivial, you know. Actions speak louder than words. If this person really cares, they're going to be happy for you. They're going to be proud that you were able to do what you did. But at the moment, like when you're going through it in November, there's a lot of like regret and guilt and dang, I didn't do the right thing. I was very impulsive and I just kind of jumped towards it and I didn't really think about it. Especially with the Knight of Candles here, there is this impulsive energy in this theme of just trying to jump towards something. And I also think that it is exciting. Like a lot of this is very exciting for you. There's a strong pull, a passionate pull, and it's also like I want to say a validating pull as well, because it kind of feels like whatever it is that we're leaning towards and stepping away from, like that has us stepping away from something, what we're leaning towards is very similar to what we're either passionate about or what we've always kind of wanted to do. It's exciting. And that's what is making us after the fact go like, damn, actually I could have handled that better. Why was I so impulsive and why did I get too excited? I want to have a look at the advice because I think that's about all that I can get for that theme from the tarot cards. I think that the advice is going to be about making sure that you take the right action at the right time to ensure that you're not just feeling guilty and beating yourself up for the rest of this month because of what you've done. We don't want you to kind of get to a point where this is like a very heavy theme, and I don't think it should be a constant theme in November. It should be something that you can eventually accept, make peace with, and move forward, because I do think that you doing what's best for you with an Empress upright energy isn't a bad energy. There's other ways of being selfish that aren't exactly kind and helpful, and the Empress upright is not one of those ways. So let's have a look. What is your advice? What is Taurus's advice in November? It could be about doing what is right for your legacy as well, if that resonates, especially if you have children, at the expense of someone else, but you're having to put your children first. And I never see that as a bad thing. Like, how can you be mad at someone for choosing their child, you know? Take that if it resonates. It's not going to for all of you. So we do have success coming out. Beautiful. It's the peppermint card in this deck. There's also the number 20, fire, and Libra. Next we have the emotion card, which is the cucumber card. And it is reversed. Some earth, Cancer, and the number 4. At the back of the deck, we have wholeness, black mulberry, Aquarius 33, and water. Interesting. Let me get a quick drink of water. Speaking of water, I feel like because I said it, now I want it. Oh, HB, that's amazing. That makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of what I'm seeing in the advice has to do with successful partnerships as well, and making sure that you have alliances as a Taurus. So making sure that you're standing true to what actually matters. And there is a feeling here of honoring commitments, but there's also a feeling here of partnerships that are helpful, that are successful in the first place, and that are mutual. So this won't involve those commitments that are overbearing, that are too oppressing, that aren't beneficial towards your growth. It's more about those harmonious partnerships that are uplifting and that are aimed at progressing the situation mutually. And I think that your advice here is a lot to do with the situation is going to lead to success through the right alliances, through the right support, and through the right partnerships and commitments moving forward. When it comes to contracts, please triple read before you sign. Whenever Libra comes out in the advice, I always think of contracts and just needing to read things before you sign it, just in case it could be a little error or it could be a little something to be aware of, a little clause in the agreement that you may need to be aware of in future circumstances. It could have just triple read before you sign anything. With this emotion card reversed, I do feel like this cucumber energy has a lot to do with trying not to beat yourself up too much. I mean, I knew that was going to come out. I also think that this is a case of trying not to over empathize. It's hard when you're a good person, and it's hard when you do have, you know, you can't change the way you feel. But at some point, we have to exercise sympathy rather than empathy and not always put ourselves in other people's shoes. And that point really comes when it's at the expense of our own well being, or it's at the expense of people who we actually deeply care about. It's a very manipulative thing to make a stranger feel guilty for saying no to you. And if that's how this person is, even if you've known them for years, I doubt they're in your close, like sleeps in the same house as you circle. And I really feel like with this emotion card, it's a case of needing to exercise sympathy instead of empathy and really focusing on, well, actually, my kindness is a strength that I have, but it doesn't deserve to be extended to everybody. I need to do what's right for me. Sounds very straightforward, but it's going to be very key to remember. Don't feel guilty. No is a full sentence as well, if you need to remember that. I just think that that is as simple as the advice can go for that kind of theme, because that's exactly what I can see happening. And that's what I genuinely feel Spirit thinks is going to be the best advice when facing that theme. So we might move forward. We're going to have a look at this last one now. It's very glary over here, so I will show you the cards before I put them down. But over here we have the Three of Wands reversed, and the Judgment card came out as well. So there's a lot of heaviness in this reading. I'm not going to lie, it is very heavy. And it feels like November could be a month of transitions. I mean, Scorpio season affects us all differently, but it's definitely a sign that offers transformation if you're open to it. And I think that you may not be open to it, but it's really trying to work with you. The energy of this season is really trying to work with you. And the Three of Wands reversed is often a card that I see as misdirection, as us needing to kind of turn around and pay attention to what's behind us instead of waiting for something that we expect to happen. I feel like Spirit is saying, listen, this may not go the way that you wanted, but you are going to get something better. Please turn around. The situation is transforming with that Judgment card. What is going on over here with this last theme for Taurus? We have the Hanged Man coming up, right? Yeah, there's a change in perspective, which could lead to a change in direction over here. We have the Fool coming out again, would you believe? This time reversed with the Nine of Wands. That's so much foolish energy. That could be what is also causing delays in the month ahead. This fear of looking foolish or doing something foolish, doing something premature, especially with the universe coming out. Oh my Lord. Okay, so we're very worried about messing something up and not doing something the way that others expect it to be done, especially with the universe here. It's almost like there are rules we have to stick to. It's not just expectations, there's almost like a standard that's expected of us. I also wonder if that universe card is like a deadline that we're having to honor. Like we can't physically get out of this situation until we have done all that we can do up until that day. So I do feel like with the Nine of Wands reversed, there is a feeling here of giving up. And it's not in a way that you should feel guilty. It's in a way of like, I've exhausted all my options. I am physically exhausted. I can't do this anymore. I'm physically at breaking point. I need to start focusing on other things, or I'm going to literally run out of steam and run myself into the ground. And with the Foolish card reversed, this isn't an easy decision to make. In fact, you're almost seeing it as like a cowardly decision or a foolish thing that other people are going to judge. But with the Hanged Man here, I feel like this isn't impulsive. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I feel like November may give us the clarity, the perspective to be able to see this for what it is. But I also feel like this is a subconscious feeling that you try not to focus on because it's so strong and overwhelming, and it's just too much to see all the time as like your conscious reality. So this feels like a subconscious theme, a subconscious pull, and then an inevitable feeling of, well, actually, I am at breaking point. I need to slow down. I need to stop. And I feel like with the Hanged Man here upright, there is this strong feeling of you seeing clearly and being able to have a moment in November where you've at least paused enough from whatever busyness you've gotten yourself into to be able to see the path that the universe is showing you and what you need to do in order to get down that path. I don't know if a lot of you are going to want to take those changes in November, I'll be honest. It feels like you're still trying to maintain some sort of rules, some sort of deadline, and so you're delaying. And you're aware, you've got the fresh perspective, but I don't see strong action here. It's more of an energetic shift, and it's more of a prepping and priming yourself for future effort. What's at the back of the deck? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, working on it. I genuinely feel like this theme is more of like a background thing, and you try to kind of keep it in the background while you honor whatever it is that you need to do in November, your other commitments. So clarify what's going on here with this Three of Wands Judgment energy for Taurus. What is going on with this Three of Wands Judgment energy for Taurus in November? What have I missed? We have the Four of Needles coming out upright. We also have the Ten of Potions. So needles are swords, potions are cups. Ten of Potions reversed. What else? We have the Three of Potions, the Three of Cups reversed. The back of the deck is the Seven of Needles. Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a strong message of someone taking advantage of you. And I do feel like with the Seven of Needles reversed, you are trying not to do that. And then it ends up happening to you. It feels like you're trying to be honest. And so if something doesn't feel right, like you don't want to feel it, you know, like if you're thinking about doing something that could betray or could test your loyalty or your commitment to another thing, like you don't even want to think about it. You're just pushing it into your subconscious. Like, I can't even see it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to see it. It does feel like, though, with the Seven of Needles upright, the goal moving forward in this theme is to do it right. You don't want to rush. You don't want to look foolish. So you're going to kind of wait until the timing is better, until the conversation is better suited. It could be that this is all kind of happening at the same time as something else. I mean, we do have the Tower here. So when it rains, it pours. But you're really trying to be careful. There's a lot of kind of strategic action. And I want to argue that there's even strategic information being withheld on your side. With the Four of Needles here upright, I do feel, oh, excuse me, am I calling it the Four? That's the Six, you guys. That's the Six of Needles. I apologize. That makes more sense. Okay, that makes a lot more sense because I was thinking there's no way they're just going to stay there forever. So the Six of Swords, it makes a little bit more sense. It is talking about trying to choose the peaceful option, but the goal is moving forward in some way and finding your peace through action. So I do believe that this involves you kind of making a social situation smaller. You could be excluding someone by doing this in November, focusing on only specific key people and excluding someone very intentionally, not with bad intentions. It's not like you're trying to make them feel disconnected or isolated. You're not even trying to make them aware of the fact that they're no longer a part of your close circle. I just see you slowly like stopping the communication with someone and choosing to find your peace in a direction where only specific people are moving forward with you. I do feel like you could get a lot of healing from your loved ones, but I see you being too proud to beg with the Ten of Potions reversed. It's a very stubborn aspect of being a Taurus placement. There is a strong feeling here of not wanting to ask for help and waiting for people to ask to help you. And I think the Ten of Potions reversed is also you trying to make sure, well, if I do something in this area, I have to make sure, first of all, that I'm not doing it maliciously, but also that I'm not making someone upset for no reason. And that's why you're being so careful and slow and calculated, because you don't want to just start a conversation or a conflict for no reason. Is there anything else they need to know about the Ten of Potions reversed? I'm hearing you can have your happy ending, but it's not here. You have to try a different direction. You have to try moving in a different way, because doing this isn't going to lead to your happy ending. With the Three of Potions reversed, I do believe that this is that energy of keeping your loved ones close, and that's about it. We don't have to overextend ourselves here. In fact, your social circle may be getting smaller after this. I also think that this is something that you may be keeping private from certain people because you don't want them to overreact or exacerbate the situation. Is there any advice in this theme for Taurus Spirit? I feel like this has been a very quick reading for you, but that's pretty much all I'm seeing. So I'm just going to get some advice and we'll see what Spirit can say. What is the advice for Taurus with this Three of Wands reversed and the Last Judgment card? We have Pink Rose, gratitude. That's a bit cute. I'm hearing gratitude is an attitude. We also have Gemini on that card, the number 36, and air. Next we have Hope, the Daffodil card. So look at that, Narcissus, pseudo-narcissus. We have Taurus on here, that's you, baby. We also have air and 38. Okay, so this is interesting. There's a lot of air over here. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of thinking, communicating. I'm not going to lie, this is a very internal process. So I feel like your main message in terms of advice is to grant yourself the freedom of thought. Because if you don't let yourself even think something, then how are you ever supposed to process what you're experiencing? Like, there's this strong sense of being so loyal to the point where you don't even want to think about something because it could be disloyal. But your thoughts are your own. Our consciousness helps us process our experiences and develop and understand how we truly feel. And we can't control our thoughts, but we can better understand our emotions by processing how we are thinking and what we are experiencing. So the truth of the matter is, you shouldn't feel guilty for how you were thinking. You shouldn't feel guilty for the thoughts you have. And if anything, I can see you getting to a space of peace, of gratitude, and of hope of what is to come. But to get to that space, you have to allow yourself to think about other possibilities. You have to allow yourself to consider opportunities that are being given to you, because I almost feel like a friend could be trying to poach you here. There could be someone who's like, hey, I know you really don't like what you do for work. Have you ever considered doing this? And so I do feel like there's a strong feeling of needing to overall do what's best for you and get out of your head when it comes to feeling a victim to how you're thinking and what you're feeling. But I also wonder if with this hope card, that Taurus energy, your main sort of advice on that card with this theme over here has a lot to do with putting in short-term steps towards the future that you want and towards the hope that you crave. There is this strong feeling of having a practical plan and allowing yourself to make small but significant changes. We don't have to focus on the ending yet, the outcome. It's just baby steps, little steps at a time. It literally feels like that Taurus energy is just one foot in front of the other. Don't worry about the finer details of 3 years from now or even 3 months from now, if that's how intense this is. Just focus on the immediate future and getting a small short-term plan in place to help get you to where you want to be. In the back of the deck, we do have wisdom. So I feel like all of this is going to help you expand. But of course, we don't know when we're learning the lesson. We only know after we've learned it, really. So I feel like this is an interesting situation in which there's a lot to be gained. But at the moment, like at the time that you're going through it, it just feels like there's a lot to be lost. And that's what you're focusing on. When actually, I can see an opportunity for more fun, for more positive outlets, for more downtime, and also for more positive connection. Because I don't think you're in the right situation here. I genuinely feel like a lot of you are having someone who's using either their position of authority or the fact that you trust them to kind of manipulate the situation and take advantage of you. So I hope this was helpful, Taurus. I hope the information and the advice is very helpful in the month ahead. It may resonate more as the month progresses, but if it didn't resonate 100%, you should have messages in your sun, moon, or rising sign because this is a general reading. I'm going to have to cut your reading there, Sweet Pea. I'm going to take this reading, or I'm going to have to start Virgos very soon in the next 10 minutes. But before we go, I wish you all a prosperous, abundant, successful, joyful, happy month ahead. Thank you, everybody who got to join me, especially those who are cross-watching. I appreciate all your energy. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching after this is live, and I shall see you in another video. Bye!